You ever have one of those nights where if you've got a dozen ready, you got the snacks ready, and then half the group texts, I can't make it. And suddenly you're staring at two players and a map that's built for a full party. And that's when a lot of BX tables reach for the obvious fix. Fine, you each run two characters. The funny thing is, the basic book actually talks about that exact situation, but it also points you straight at the cleaner old school answer. This, by the way, is a collab with D'Angelo. There's a link to his channel below this video. Retainers and henchmen are kind of like the secret sauce. They're not extra sheets, they're what keeps the night from falling apart. And here's the misconception: running two characters is the same thing as having a retainer. No, not really. Not once the dice hit the table. Now, page 19 in Basic says it pretty clearly. Most DMs will allow a player only one character at a time. And then it admits, sure, sometimes a person may run more than one when only a few people are playing. But here's what it does right after that. It warns the table to avoid characters played by the same person getting too cozy. What do we mean by that? Like passing magic items between themselves or borrowing money from each other. And it even says there's no reason those characters should be any more friendly than characters run by different players. And then comes the part everyone skims past. Because it's the actual VX solution hiding in plain sight. The DM may allow a player character to hire companions. See Retainers, page B21, to add to the size of the party. And that's the point. BX says, yeah, you can do it and you have to. And then it points you right back to Retainers. That's the real fix. So here's the clean table procedure that I use. It's simple, it's fast, and it keeps Retainers from turning into free extra PCs. Step one is essentially decide what problem the retainer is solving. Before anyone hires anybody, ask it out loud. What gap are we filling? Common gaps are, well, no front line, or we need more for the front line, or we have no light or gear carriers, too few hands for hauling treasure, or too few bodies to feel safe on the road. This matters because it sets expectations. You're not hiring a second protagonist. You're hiring a role. Next, you set control at the table. Orders, not improvisation. Retainers work best when players give them standing orders. What do I mean? Stand behind me. Keep the lantern shaded. Don't run ahead. If I fall, drag me back. If you can't, run. Guard the rope. Don't climb unless I tell you. That's the line. The retainer's not there to freestyle the adventure. They're there to follow instructions like a real hireling would. What else? Well, give each retainer one sentence of personality. One sentence. Not a novel. Stuff like talks tough, spooks easy. Quiet professional, doesn't like being rushed. Greedy but loyal if paid on time. And this makes them feel what? Real. And it gives you a natural way to answer what would they do? Or would they even do that without turning it into pages of paperwork and trying to figure out based upon copious notes? You don't need that. Put a hard ceiling on complexity. My sanity rule. And you know me, all right? I procedures and less is more. A retainer gets one job, one simple way to help, one reason they might refuse. If you feel the table is drifting into my retainer also has a plan, you cut off with give them an order, they're not a co-lead. What else? Keep risk real. Retainers don't volunteer for suicide missions. If the plan is you first into that unknown hallway full of darkness and weird sounds, expect pushback. That's not you being cruel. That's you keeping the world believable. So I would say it, I don't know, clearly, plainly. They'll do dangerous work, but they're watching how you treat them. Right? And reward loyalty with continuity, not power creep. What do I mean by that? A good retainer becomes a familiar face in town. The person who remembers the route, the rumor, the mistake you made last time. They're the relationship that makes the campaign feel like it has roots. If they grow into a henchman over time, well, that's great. That's earned play. But you start with a role and a wage. And then, of course, there's what I call it the short party rule. When the table is short, you don't add main characters. You add supporting characters that keep the expedition functional. Because that's exactly what the basic paragraph is steering you towards when it says you can hire companions to build the party back up. So, let's give an example here. Two players show up, a fighter and a magic user. The dungeon is prepped and you don't want to cancel. You don't want to play. We used to play Chaos Marauders back in the day. We had a short table or some other board game. But the party hires two companions. They hire a lantern bearer / pack carrier. They hire a shieldman who's there to hold the line and help hold treasure. Now, here's the fast setup before they leave town. Fighter. Shieldman, stay on my left. If I back up, he backs up. The magic user says to the lantern holder, Lantern stays behind the front line. If it goes bad, he runs first. And a sentence of personality for each. Lantern talks tough but spooks easy. Shieldman, quiet professional, doesn't like being rushed. And now they hit the dungeon. They reach a dark intersection. The fighter wants to listen at her door. The magic user wants the light low. The player doesn't say, my second PC checks the other hallway. They say, Lantern, right here. Low light, don't move. That's the vibe. Clear orders, no fuss. Keep moving. And then something nasty shows up because it's a dungeon. That's what's supposed to happen, right? And one of those, this isn't a fair fight situations. And here's what retainers do that second PCs don't. The players feel pressure to protect their people. The party has a realistic chance to retreat without it turning into a wipe. And if the players treat them like disposable meat, well, guess what? The world remembers. So if the fighter calls the retreat, the shieldman covers, the lantern bolts as ordered, and the party survives. Afterward, the conversation in town isn't, well, my second PC did great. No, it's, we almost lost the lantern bearer. Next time, we pay better and we don't push him to panic. And that's the kind of stuff you remember later. So, what about the pushback, right? But the rules say you can run multiple characters. It's right there on page 19 of the basic rulebook. Look. And they do. Straight up, page 19 says it can happen when only a few people are playing. But it also flags the problem immediately. Those characters can get too close in ways that feel unfair and gamey. Like self-dealing with treasure and money. And then it points to the campaign fix. Hire companions. And it literally sends you to retainers on page 321. So I treat it like this. Multiple PCs for one player, it's a stopgap. But retainers are the long-term engine. Yeah, but what if the retainers steal the spotlight? That only happens if you let them. If retainers are giving speeches, making plans, and solving problems, you've made them protagonists by accident. The fix? Like I said before, retainers execute orders, but players make decisions. Well, my players will abuse retainers as disposable hit points. That's it. You don't fix that with the lecture. You fix that with the world, with the gameplay. If they do that, their reputations will spread. Good help or even bad help gets scarce. And desperate hirelings are the ones you shouldn't trust. Treat people like tools and a campaign pushes back. Or, come on, man. Tracking them is paperwork. And yes, I despise paperwork. But it can be if you run them like PCs. Don't run them like PCs. Keep it light. Give them a name, a role, a one personality sentence, what they're carrying, the standing order, AC and hit points, write down the weapon they're carrying. That's it. Well, so what are henchmen then? At my table, a henchman is a retainer who's crossed into the inner circle. They're trusted, they're invested in, they're part of the campaign's identity. But they earn that over time. They don't start there. So here's the core idea. If you're shorthanded, don't turn each player into their own one-person party. That slows the game down and it invites the exact too close self-dealing the basic book warns about. Instead, do what BX points you toward. Hire companions, retainers, henchmen, so the expedition actually works. Why? Well, they keep the party functional when attendance is rough, add consequences and loyalty that carry across sessions, turn we have two players tonight into we can still run the dungeon. So my rule at the table, retainers fill the gaps. Running two PCs changes what the game feels like. If this helped, please consider subscribing. Thank you. God bless. DM Angelo. He's got the collab. It's linked below. Give it a view. I'll catch you tomorrow.